Mentions view. In this chapter, you'll learn how to filter out mentions about your project, how to analyze mentions quick and easy, how to filter, export, and more. First, let's explain what is a mention. A mention is any online public post, comment, or article that contains keywords that you've set up in the project configuration step. Let's have a look at the mentions view. Once you log into SentiOne and select one of your projects, the system will automatically direct you to the mentions view. If you wish to change the project, you can use the drop-down menu at the top, where you will have a list of all your projects. In the mentions view, you can see all of the online mentions found by the SentiOne system. Here you can see the total number of mentions in this project. The default time frame is the last 30 days. However, if you wish to change the date settings, you just need to click here and choose the predefined criteria, or manually set up the time period that you wish to monitor. Then the system will reload the data. By default, mentions are organized and displayed by influence score. By clicking on this drop-down menu, you can change it to Newest, showing the newest mentions first, Oldest, showing the oldest mentions first, or filtered by the influence score, which means that the most popular mention will appear at the top. Influence score is a result of SentiOne's own algorithm that calculates the popularity of a mention. It takes into account the number of shares, likes, comments, and how many people are following that particular author or page. Now let's look at the mention itself. First, you can see on what platform this mention appeared and who published it. If the author is a private individual, then due to GDPR policies, SentiOne will display no author data. If you click on the mention, you'll be directed to the source of this mention. Next, you can see the date and time of the publication down to the minutes. In the mention itself, the very first part of the text displays the content of the mention, and below you'll see the context of the discussion. For example, whether it was a comment in a thread, a share, or a single post. SentiOne automatically categorizes mentions into sentiment, positive, neutral, or negative. In rare instances, when the algorithm was mistaken and you feel that given mention should be categorized differently, you can adjust it manually. Next, to the sentiment category. You can also see gender category, whether the author was male or female. This mention is taken directly from social media profiles of the authors. Moreover, if you are doing multilingual searches, the system will translate each mention into the language of your choice. Another option is to remove the mention from the list by clicking this icon in the upper right corner. Please note, it will only remove mentions from the displayed list, not from the internet. Now you know everything about the structure of the mention. Let's go to the filter options in the right panel. This panel comes in handy whenever you want to conduct your own analysis and narrow down your search. Here you can filter out mentions by sentiment, source category, or type of mention. Let's try selecting all neutral mentions. Only from Facebook, but only individual posts, not comments. The system will then reload the data according to those filters. If you want to search for specific words in your mention, you can enter them in this field. For example, we can select how many posts in this Coca-Cola project also mention the word Pepsi. Also, you can narrow your search by selecting a specific author or website domain. We will cover tags and tagging options in another part of the workshop. You can also filter mentions by gender, and turn on the mentions that were previously ignored. Here at the bottom, you also have the availability to download all the mentions in a CSV or Excel format. The last thing you need to learn about the mentions view is the reset option. When you scroll to the top, you can click here in order to reset all of our filters.